Good day. Citizen of Grant Township, and just wanted to update the board on, we had our first court case yesterday, the judge got the reference to the solar project, and wanted you to know that he did not dismiss it, and that we're moving forward, and he's given us a path to success. And so I want you to understand that we're doing our part to protect the county from the rest of these projects coming in. And it's imperative that the board does its job now. Now that this first hearing has been held, the board can now rescind the current CREO. You have to do this before these next projects are applied for. I would also suggest that after you do the CREO rescission, that you put some type of a moratorium or something, maybe 6 months or 8 months, whatever time you think is necessary to redo the ordinance that you have in order to beef it up to protect the county. We don't want the rest of the county to suffer what the folks over at Grand Township are suffering right now, which is zero protection. It's because of the CREO. I would suggest also that you use your resources to look up the St. Clair County ordinance. Use that as your template. It's solid. You can use that and modify it as you see fit. But we have to stop the CREO today before these other two projects over on the western side of the county get applied. I want to thank you for your support in all this, and I'll be happy to keep you up to date. But just be aware that it was a wonderful victory for us yesterday, regardless of what somebody else will tell you. But it really was a good thing for the rest of the county, and we'll continue to fight for our portion of the county as well. And that's what we do this thing. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Joe.
Good morning, people. My name is Eric Boyd. I'm a resident of Grant Township, along as a Grant Township trustee, but I'm here speaking as a resident. Hats off to Mr. Warfield for wanting to rewrite your statements, because I read them last night, and I would also ask that this CREO would get revoked, because if you read your statements, your vision statements, I would have to say this CREO let us all down. However, that got accepted, but I would ask that at this time that you would revoke that CREO as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Eric.
Good morning, my name is James Coleman. I live in Grant Township also, right on the northwest side of Black Lake. So I am also affected by this solar farm that's going to be put in there. And I reiterate what Eric and Joe said, this CREO needs to be revoked and rewritten, and again, use the St. Clair ordinance as a guide, and adjust it as necessary. The other thing that needs to be addressed in there is the districts. Why this was allowed to happen in an area that has all kinds of streams and creeks that flow into Black Lake and into the Cheboygan River is beyond me. This needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Board. John Studer. I'd like to add on to exactly what he was saying. That solar project is being allowed in lake and stream protection. That's an idiocy beyond words in itself. Lake and stream protection, and we're allowing something as intrusive as a solar farm be permitted by right by use. So please, we'll have the Planning Commission go through this book, and any place that should be protected, have us go back through it and actually protect the county. And on that same note, there's a lot of data centers and stuff trying to come into our state. Another example of corporate money being over the power of the people. So please, if there's something you can do to be proactive to stop that from coming to this county as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Judd.
Morning, Chuck Leedy, Benton Township.
Chuck.
And I agree with the previous citizens here that spoke about this. I'd like to see the board kind of, with respect to solar farms, AI, wind, whatever, kind of adopt the philosophy of the Coast Guard motto, semper paratus, which is always prepared. And what I think, although there's not going to be a data farm proposed in Cheboygan County at this time, this stuff is going up all over the country. And I think that the board and the people in the county and our state, and we all should be looking at what's going to be in the best interest of the people before something happens that, you know, you have to react immediately, and then we may not have time to do it. So just a couple comments about that, about the AI data center. Got the wrong page here. Just the one in Saline that's been in the news. By their statement, the companies that want to put that up, that's a 1.4 gigawatt project. Now, just to put that in perspective, a typical nuclear power plant in the United States produces about 1 gigawatt. So that's looking for power equivalent to almost 1.5 nuclear power stations. Now, the concerns, of course, are that it goes on that when DTE wants to have the Public Service Commission provide them with authority to build that, will some of that cost fall on the people? There's debate on that. It's kind of material. If they do, even if they do pay for it and put it in and put a plant in, it's probably not going to be nuclear. It's probably going to be fossil fuel, natural gas at the best. And if that goes online at 1.4 gigawatts, if there is a failure to that power going to the AI data center, is the AI data center going to get priority and then suck down and put other homes and whatnot out of power in order to keep the data center running? 1.4 gigawatts, by my own calculations, which are confirmed by, you can look this up on the internet all over the place, 1.4 gigawatts is equivalent to powering 1,400,000 average residential homes. So that's a lot of power. And part of the other thing about these data centers that we all should be considering is what data do they want to use? What data do they want to process? Is it more of the Internet of Things and personal privacy? I mean, everybody's being tracked everywhere. Do they want to track that in order to improve their marketing and whatnot? I think we want to say what's going on here, and I saw something on the agenda here about transparency from another county. I think we really need to look into some of these things and say, do we want them? Do we need it? And if so, are there going to be appropriate regulations? This is very powerful stuff. There are regulations on things. You can't, when you design weaponry, especially nuclear weaponry, that's regulated. This AI data could be a vital part of defense, could help manufacturing, but do we want to use it to spy on the citizens? I would say no, and that's my point. I would like to give you this comment in writing to include it in the minutes, if I may. I appreciate that.
You have it in writing?
I have it in writing. Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck. We need a motion to put that in the,
Typically, what we do with those are provide it to the board, general information, but in the past, the board hasn't placed general comments in our packets.
That's fine. I will also email that to you in electronic form and request that in upcoming meetings, maybe some of this would be on the agenda for further discussion.
good job. Moving on. Anybody else? On to 14, no scheduled visitors. We're at the finance director's report, item 15 on the agenda. That's page 90 on your iPad, starting.
Good morning, we're talking about November financials, so we should be at 91.67% of budget. Revenues in November of '25, $14,620,465.60, or 93.57% of budget, compared to the year prior, $14,625,443.63, or 96.71% of budget. So $4,978.03 decrease as compared to the prior year. There were no lines over 25,000 in revenues that we haven't talked about prior. And just a note, the prior year had the 500,000 in the juvenile cell grant, so it isn't really as close as it looks. This year, the increase would have related to the increase in property taxes due to inflation rates. The expenditures on November of '25, $13,783,596.35, or 71.65% of budget, as compared to the year prior, $13,466,721.64, or 75.11% of budget. There's $316,874.71 increase as compared to the prior year. We have one department over 25,000 we didn't talk about prior, and that's Department 954 Insurances, is down 50,000, and that's due to the timing of the payment. Last year we paid it in November, and this year we paid it in December, so it will catch up. Second report, cash summary by fund. General fund, November 30 of '25, $13,469,772.35, as compared to the year prior, $12,878,815.99, or a $590,956.36 increase over the prior year. For all funds, November 30 of '25, $35,185,536.88, as compared to the prior year of $33,170,923.10, or $2,014,613.78 increase over the prior year. Of that, $2,661,000 is in trust and agency, which is basically taxes that are being weighted to be paid to other units of government. The $590,000 we talked about in the general fund, and then the road commission is up $450,000 as compared to the prior year. So any questions for me?
Just a
Question for Sue.
Yeah, just the one that says insurance is there. I mean, is it?
That would be our liability and all.
Could all the other medical, all that's under others.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
MMRMA.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
Pretty much exclusive. Okay.
There's a little bit in there for the treasurer for collecting taxes, I think,
Okay.
but that's only like a couple.
Jeff has a question.
Thing